Made the topic of this presentation, man proposes, God disposes. Man proposes, God disposes. First of all, gentlemen of the press, it is with deep feelings and high sense of responsibility that I address you today on the subject of the 2025 UTME results, which has generated some traction in public discourse and social space. I want to begin by appreciating you for gathering here today, especially the press. I want to begin by appreciating you because your extensive coverage has highlighted the release of 2025 UTME results, formally announced on Friday night, May. Similarly, we appreciate all those who have lent their voices to the stringent complaints on the results we released, because you all did so out of concern. I appreciate our critics, one of whom, two of them are here. Here with us. I appreciate them immensely because they could have chosen to be indifferent to us. I agree with the person who said the opposite of love is not hate, it is indifference. The opposite of art is indifference. The opposite of truth, of faith, is indifference. And the opposite of life is not death, but indifference. By not being indifferent to JAMB, we are grateful. Today marks a moment we shall not soon forget, a day that should have been filled with celebration for what was, until recently, regarded as our most successful UTM exercise. Regrettably, this joy has been overshadowed by an easily avoidable error by one or two persons. Without equivocation, there has been a lot of hoopla since the result of 2025 UTME were released last Friday, 9th May. Despite the fact that JAMB is a responsive organization, the unusual level of public concern and loud complaints has prompted us to do an immediate audit or review of what happened, which we ordinarily would have done in June. I want to make it clear that our review and investigation revealed that there are grounds for the complaints about our 2025 UTME result, and the press conference is convened with a view to unveiling the bitter truths of our findings openly and objectively. We are all humans after all, but before any other thing, it is imperative that I shed light on the extent that JAMB goes to ensure quality in its processes and activities. JAMB and quality assurance. Gentlemen of the press, quality assurance is cardinal to the operation of JAMB. I can assure you that we scale all heights, fathom all depths, and traverse all horizons to ascertain that quality assurance mechanism permeate all our operations from the takeoff point to the finish line. We burn the midnight oil and we set our standards high. This is why we have guidelines, checklists, and protocols guiding our activities, right from the time of registration to the point of monitoring and supervision to the processing of results. As we know, we cannot clap with our sole hand as a single entity. We have several committees in place that are part of our quality assurance system. There are peace monitors of 41 women of substance who are all former principal officers of Nigerian universities. We have the chief external examiners for every state who are vice chancellors, rectors, and provosts themselves. In each state, we also have chief technical advisor, a reputable professor who is an expert in computing and cybersecurity. We have peace monitors, civil society group, equal opportunity, the general monitors, high power opinion leaders, and technical advisor group, and virtues vanguard. All of these groups play a critical role and complement our staff in ensuring quality and troubleshooting challenges. Furthermore, we also have an in-house consultant and expert in software development and cybersecurity. Besides, we have introduced mock examinations since 2017 as primarily a quality assurance measure to test our system and intervene where necessary prior to the time of our examination. Knowing the nature of technology, our technical officers annually take tests before the successful ones are deployed to the field so that no point will incompetence set in. All our examination officials are profiled with their needs to ensure efficiency and accountability. We also have a robust system of in-house electronic testing experts led by a renowned professor of software engineering. We deploy our system to the use of high-profile organizations within and outside Nigeria as part of the broader strategy of ensuring that everything works well when we need it to work. As part of our preparation for this year, we updated our system from form-based to the single-item-based examination, the latter of which is the in-thing presently internationally. We simulated this system, streamlined our Autobot and Auto system, and still went ahead to develop our own JAMB test, a software innovated in-house by a small team led by our own staff, DUBEM. We improved on the examination system, simulated everything end-to-end before the examination, and we thought everything was perfect. All the layers, including using dummies, were deployed this year, but despite that, an error happened. It is a classical manifestation of the axiom that man proposes, but God disposes. Between card and lag. Let me disclose part of how we operate in JAMB for the first time in public. Conscious of the fault lines of Nigeria, where if you say north, south, you know, north, south, all this division, we use two operational vehicles to traverse Nigeria under the code name CARD and LAG. CARD vehicle contains the northern states, all the states in the northern Nigeria, excluding Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Niger, Kogi, and FCT, but it includes 6 south states. The LAG vehicle, on the other hand, consists of southern states, excluding the 6 south states, but it includes Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Niger, Kogi, and FCT. These vehicles are deployed to serve Nigeria as a whole, the south being part of the north and the north being part of the south, so there is no distinction north or south. We have gone into this to explain that we have two machines that we use, and it's not north-south, is mixture, where you have 6 southern states in the south joining the north, removing 6 from the north, core north, and adding to the south, so that they will not be divided along our fault lines. After the mock examination this year, we review our lag machine, which includes southwest and southeast states, as earlier indicated, the CARD and the CARD examination engines. We realized that the lag category, that's the one I told you is from the south, so it's likely the south, but including Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, and other 3 states of the north. We realized that this lag machine, the options to the item of our examination were not shuffled. That is, the answer to this question is A, it would say as A for every student, which was not part of what we used to do. What is A, option A to you will be B somewhere, it will be C to some other, but this one just stagnated. We insisted that the shuffling must be effected so that everything can be won. After this was done, we tested the update as usual, and we were satisfied. We thereafter still did what we call dummy. We did the dummy, a simulation, a day before the examination, everything seemed to be okay. In other words, we believe we were ready to deploy the items after some layers of testing the processes. However, on the second day of the examination this year, which was Friday, April 25, we discovered that there was some omission on the items within the lag category. An update for correction and grading adjustment was instantly made, and it was tested on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The update was applied after 12 a.m. on Tuesday on Tuesday morning, and it was successful. This was why all examinations across the country from Tuesday till the end of UTME had no problem. To correct and re-upload the responses, the results from the server of each center, from lag. For the pre-Tuesday glitch, the service providers concerned with the result were deployed to effect the patch, but there were patch errors in some centers, that's some centers, for the first 3 or 4 days in only 2 locations. In simple terms, what I'm saying, while 65 centers, that is 206,610 candidates were affected in Lagos zone, comprising only of Lagos, 65 centers, 206,610 candidates. 92 centers, i.e. 173,387 were affected in Owerri zone, which includes the southeast states. In terms of states, 5 states of the southeast were affected, but in terms of number, over 200, all of them coming from Lagos State, were affected, but 173,387 from the southeast states. In clear terms, in the process of rectifying the issue, the technical personnel deployed by our service provider for lag, Lagos and Southeast zones, inadvertently failed to update some of the delivery servers. Regrettably, this oversight went undetected prior to the release of the results. Recall, gentlemen, that last year we overhauled our reporting system, which made obvious for the first time what has not caught much public attention, and thus sparked significant backlash from the Nigerian public, many of them who believed that there was failure. In response to widespread concern about what many feared, what many referred to as failure rate, we made adjustment this year to lower the. Only professional educators will know what that means. We felt with the adjustment made during the preparation, better performance of statistics will emerge. We were therefore not surprised when the best scorer in 2025, this exam, was 374, which was the best, highest in the last 1.5 decades, as shown below. Here we show that in 2024 it was 367. In 2023 we go there from 299 in 2013. This is the first time, because we were happy that probably it's a sign that the adjustments were working. The examinations were concluded on Wednesday and the results were ready. By the time the results were generically analyzed, they did not depart radically from the tradition of the previous 12 years, except that we gladly noticed improvement in the highest scorer. But contrary to our prediction, there was none in the overall, as the performance was sadly poorer than that of last year. Yet, everything fell within the range of the existing pattern. We showed the existing pattern, the pattern in the last 12 years in a table. Between Friday and Monday, the uproar could be said to have reached the highest decibel, and it was coming from some respected voices in the society. Though JAMB usually responds to every complaint based on its merit, the nature of the clamor this time made us to fast-track the review process. A post-mortem analysis of the result that we will have done next month was clearly done. A meeting of minds. On the morning of Monday, that's the first working day after the release of the result, we issued a tentative press statement which includes, and I quote, "If it is determined that there were indeed glitches, we will implement appropriate remedial measures promptly, as we do in the case of examinations themselves." Apart from officials of JAMB, I must thank them that they have been having sleepless nights since Monday. Apart from officials of JAMB and other government agencies such as Nigerian Education and Research Development Council, NERDC, we also summoned some experts and professionals who graciously responded to us, including a renowned professor of psychometrics in Africa, an esteemed expert in test measurement, who is from Imo State, Professor Boniface Nwogu, who is with me here, a technical advisor, an expert from the Computer Professional Council, like Professor Adenike Oshofison, a CPN representative, Bayo Onimode, the president of the Nigeria Academy of Education, Professor Kabiru Isiaku, the National Parent Teacher Association of Nigeria, the National Association of Nigerian Students, among others. We immediately summoned them, and surprisingly, positively, they all responded. We immensely appreciate all of you for heeding our distress call. Within 24 hours of rigorous work, we were able to isolate where the problem emanated from, as I have said earlier on. It happened in 65 centers in Lagos and 92 centers in Owerri zone. That is covering the cities, just as Ibadan is regarded as Ibadan zone, covering all the 5 states of the southwest. Owerri is also covering all the 5 states of the east, of the southeast. But Lagos stands alone because of the huge number that is coming from Lagos alone. In these centers, the centers that we have mentioned, the patch was not properly applied in some center servers, which we later discovered, by the service provider, and that failure disrupted the upload of the candidate response within the first 3 or 4 days as applicable to Lagos and Owerri zone. We are saying 3 or 4 because in Lagos, you have examination on Monday. In Owerri, there was no examination on Monday. So it disrupted them only for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But in Lagos, for 4 days, including Monday. The 2025 UTME that could have been our finest yet, were it not for the carelessness, negligence, and lack of concern exhibited by the agent entrusted with this crucial yet straightforward function. Immediately we realized this, we summoned the chief external examiners of Lagos, Imo, Anambra, Oyo, Abia, and Ebonyi, the 6 states affected. I'm happy they are with us. Fortunately, they all swiftly responded to join the group. We also invited Professor Bashir Galadanshi, a leading expert in computer science, to join the already people who are there, the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, because many of the people schools complaining seriously are schools from private school, and we didn't want to do anything that somebody will say, oh, they do something, we open our door widely. The NAPS, which was represented, National Association of Proprietors of Private School, which was represented by a leading voice in public advocacy, Dr. Mrs. Bukola Dosunuya, with us. A number of our vocal critics, you can see one or two of them, including our friend, he has become our friend now, Educare, who mobilized the 15,000 plus Nigerian students who are bombarding us with a number of our vocal critics were also invited. I know one of them, Educare in particular, was surprised, and they were saying maybe we want to arrest them. We are a civil society. We are not averse to criticism. We only want any criticism to be, and our doors are wide open because we have nothing, absolutely nothing to hide. We invited them to the interaction so that we could jointly and sincerely examine the situation. Despite being able to identify the source of the problem and the affected centers, we are conscious of the painful damage it has inflicted on the reputation of JAMB. As Registrar of JAMB, I hold myself personally responsible including for the negligence of the service provider and I unreservedly apologize for it. And the trauma it has affected Nigerians to, directly or indirectly. Yes. Once again, we apologize and assure you that this incident represents a significant setback for the board's reputation. We remain committed to emerging stronger in our core values of transparency, fairness, and equity. It is our culture to admit error because we know that in spite of the best of our efforts, we are human. We are not perfect. I'm sorry. The only consolation we have in this case, it is that it is just one of our two service providers that did not do well by uploading improperly, but it was not a case of glitches nor sabotage. There were technical errors. We discovered, we created what the patch, but one of our two service providers did not do well. Thank you. By Tuesday morning, with the CEs, that is our chief external examiners, the experts, and Mr. Shidoka, a former Minister of Aviation, we started samples of responses and reviewed. We compared the results and we are finding interesting correlation, except in these 157 centers where distortions had occurred. We unanimously agreed that each state of the federation be sampled. No sign of any abnormality so far has been detected in any center outside the ones mentioned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please, no problem. We unanimously agree. Thank you. We unanimously agree that each state of the federation be sampled. No problem without solution. We have decided that all the candidates affected in the 157 centers of the 882 be contacted to retake their examinations. These candidates are to be contacted through text messages addressed to their registered phone number from tomorrow. Their email addresses, their profiles, and phone calls by JAMB. They are directed to reprint their examination slips for the rescheduled examination dates. Not all, but in these centers, and we have identified them. While not oblivious of the fact that WAEC examinations are ongoing, we have contacted WAEC, and in an unprecedented show of solidarity, the council has graciously decided to, as much as possible, accommodate us within the WAEC time slot. You know, after JAMB, UTME, we start SSCE of WAEC from 1st of May. This is their own period. After that, there will be NECO. After that, there will be NAPTEB. So there is no space between now and July to retake. So we now felt that if we speak to WAEC is just starting the practical this week, and this is the only space available for us to be accommodated between now and July. And we do not want to extend the torture beyond June and July. So we then decided unanimously that we should do what is possible to deploy the examination for the affected center on Friday, Saturday, and Monday for Lagos. But for the East, we will do whatever is possible because of Monday, because of Sunday. We will see what we can do in the Southeast for Friday and Saturday. And we are also hopeful that part of Tuesday in the afternoon, when they will have finished Igbo, Efik, and Yoruba that they have, we can also utilize. Any candidate with a clash of timetable, particularly for agri-science on Friday, will be rescheduled. However, we have endeavored, working with WAEC, to ensure that no such exists. All those candidates that are scheduled for agri, we will schedule them for Saturday, so that others who do not have agri can have Friday. Fortunately, the prescribed tests for SSC are also the prescribed tests for UTME. Those who are reading for SSC, they are also already reading for UTME. Which except reading tests, which carries additional 10 marks in JAMB. All others are the same. Appeal, appreciation, and apology. I understand that there are 3 powerful expressions which contain 1 word, 2 words, or 3. They are please, thank you, and I'm sorry. So I appeal to the candidates and those affected by the error of our system to accept the explanation I've given as the truth on this matter. I apologize and take full responsibility, not just in words. I want to say a big thank you to all of you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know that some members of the group who want to say one or two things.
I want to Registrar General, but more importantly, I want to commend his real public acceptance of responsibility, public display of empathy, which is sorely lacking in our public life. That we do not know that the decisions we take or not take impact on people's lives. The Registrar General has been vehement in the course of our meetings, has been rigorous in evaluating all forms of data. But I am more impressed and touched by the empathy, the acceptance of responsibility. And I want to say that this is what we need in public service in Nigeria. That people know that the work they do impacts the lives of real people. So to this end, I want to say that the data the analysis that has been done, as explained by the Registrar General, reflects the facts as we know them, and affected students given the rare opportunity to retake the exam. I believe that what is important in any situation in life is for people to admit to error, but what is more important is to create remedial action. So all the students impacted in the sessions where the technical challenges occurred has been given a rare opportunity to retake the exam. And I think we will all applaud JAMB, and we will all continue to applaud the Registrar General for the remarkable leadership, transparency, openness, and subjecting the work of JAMB to rigorous analysis by professionals across all sectors of society. So I want to please commend the Registrar General again, and also say to the students that yes, something has happened, but a remedial action has been taken. And we believe that this will bring succor and closure to this matter. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.